Hi, my name is Andrew Donkin, and today we're going to show you how to build a galvanized planter box. We're building an outdoor easy garden planter using some old roofing materials which we had lying around. You can actually buy all these materials from your local builder's outlet as well. So where do we start? Right, we've got some old roof sheeting which we've cut to size beforehand, and we've also prepared all our timber according to the cutting list, and I've given you all of that so you can basically just copy that exactly. What I've also done is I've actually pre-drilled all the holes according to my plan. This just saves a lot of time and stops you from making mistakes later on. You'll see I've actually used a CCA treated timber, which is actually a bit nice, especially if you're going to be putting it in the soil. It stops it from rotting so quickly. So where do we get started? Okay, the first thing we're going to do is build the front frame. We're going to make a standard framework, lay it out on the table here, clamp it down and screw it together using the screws. I like to make use of my bench. I know it's square, so I'm going to use some clamps to hold it down in place, and then I know for sure that it is square. Otherwise, you can use a set square. What I like to do is just go around and put all the screws in place. This just saves a little bit of time for later on. So you're basically setting up like a little production line of assembly here. And that's all four, and we've got one in the center as well. And there we go. Okay. Always a good idea, mark everything out. Don't be shy to put a pencil mark on there. You can always sand it down later. Just stop you from making mistakes as you go along. Right, that's it. Quick and easy. Undo the clamps. And there's our first frame piece. Easy, easy, simple, and done very, very quickly. Right. Okay, next we want to start cladding that front section with our sheeting. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, I've already cut it all to size. So bring this piece over. We line it up. It's going to be flush with the top and bottom edge. And then we want to allow an overhang on the bottom side so that it covers up our side pieces. I can just use a little sample piece. That's what the overhang is going to be. And now we're going to drill through the edge to fasten down our sheet. Here I've got some self-tapping screws. I've drilled the holes, the pilot holes, and now I'm just going to screw it down into the timber. Okay, perfect. Okay, there's our first piece. That's done. So that's what it's going to look like from the outside. And on the inside, you've got that. We're going to do exactly the same thing for the other side, and then we're going to make some smaller ones for the sides. For the side pieces, obviously we're going to do exactly the same, but they're going to be shorter lengths. We're going to be using the 245 and the 370. Okay, we're just going to put it on the side of the bench. Line that up to there. We clamp that guy down. Great, we know we've got it square. Screw it in. We've got our square frame. That's going to make the outer side pieces. Okay. Now this piece is going to fit flush with no overhangs on the sides. And now we're going to drill our clearance holes with a 3.5mm steel bit. We've got our steel sheet in the position, lined up. Use the self-tappers will hold it down nice and firm to our framework. Okay, that's our first piece done on the sides. I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the other side, and then I'll have all my four sides ready to assemble together. We've made our 4 pieces, one for the front, one for the back, and the 2 sides are going to be the smaller ones. What I've done is I've pre-drilled the holes there, and I've put in my 50mm screws. They're going to go through the side. I'm going to screw those together to fasten the frame together. So I've got them laid out. I know exactly where each piece is going to go. Just bring it up, slide it in, hold it into place, and then screw it together. We've got our box frame. There it is. Quite strong and sturdy. But what we need to do is just clean up these edges. And now that's where that aluminium angle iron comes into play. We've cut them to size, and I've pre-drilled the holes already. Okay, I've got my angle iron piece in place. Just going to drill through all the way through the sheet, and I'm going to use my self-tappers to fasten it nicely to the frame. That's our first corner done. We're going to do exactly the same thing with the other 3 corners. That's it, we're done. Look at that. We've got a fantastic, cool, funky, industrial look galvanized planter box. Right, so let's get cracking and get this one planted up. Wow, it's actually looking pretty fantastic. The color from the petunias really enhances the silver, the look of the galvanizing steel and the aluminium on the side. I actually love it. I must admit, we've actually put it on a patio. It'll do fantastic in the garden as well. You can even change the plants around, put some herbs in there and start supplying the kitchen with everything that you need. Remember, everything you need is available at your local builder's outlet.